everyone. Oh, I'm streaming on my iPad, so please forgive me if I'm doing anything. If there's any technical difficulties or issues, it's wanting me to rotate in landscape, but the camera, I'm used to it being on the other side, so it's a bit weird. Okay, so it says there's 2 of you right now, although YouTube always says there's about 2 views, and then I end up getting like 13 comments, so I don't know if I truly believe that. So yeah, I decided to do this live stream primarily because I just recently, hold on a second, I just passed 60,000 subscribers, and honestly, I have always, oh, there's everyone starting to come in. Nice to see all of you. Sup, Ghostface. Hi. Yeah, it's good to have a live conversation with all of you. Wow, that's 36 views, 10 thumb ups. Click that thumb up more, because I've not done live streams as much. If you want me to do more, well, what am I talking about? I'll try to do more, but if you give it thumbs ups and get all these views in, it makes me feel even more excited to do more of these. Already I've got a big smile on my face. I've only done 1 or 2 of these live streams in the past, and it was mainly on Switch, because I think people doing live streams on YouTube, there was actually issues that were going on, so I tried not to do it. By the way, my face, it looks a bit pinkish on the screen I'm looking at. It's not that bad, it's just the lighting in this room is not as good, so that's how it's coming up on my iPad here. Let me see. Like my bread. Yeah, I like my beard. Okay, thanks, I appreciate that, buddy. Gabriel, I appreciate that. What are my thoughts on Cobra Kai? Says Master Apprentice. Cobra Kai, I've seen. That was a show that I watched quite late, so I didn't do any reviews of it, but I got to watching it right around the time I think season 3 was on its way. I think it was a couple months out, and I watched season 1 and 2 so quickly. I had so much fun with it. It was unbelievable. The first season was really good. Second season was really good. Third season I started to have issues. The kids were not as interesting to me, but the stuff with the adults was still excellent. It was really, really good. But the kids really bothered me in season 3. I really didn't like them, even though I did like them in the first 2 seasons. But season 4, it came around better. I did like that a lot, really, I did. Oh, so good to see all of you guys in in the live chat. Normally I'm always commenting and replying to your comments. I wasn't gonna do a oh, I'm careful there. I wasn't gonna do a Q&A straight away. I was gonna just say a few stuff, but yeah, for those coming in, I just wanted to say that I just recently passed 60,000 subscribers. So I always on my mind had an idea to do these late night sort of like live Q&A streaming sessions with you guys, but I never ended up doing it. The reason why is because it's always late. A lot of you guys, all my viewers, are in America and I'm in the UK, so there's like a 6-hour time difference. And right now it is 35 past 12 at night, and I'm doing this Q&A with you guys, well, this live stream with you guys. So yeah, so this will be my first time doing it in a while, and man, I'm scrolling through your comments. There are a lot of them, so I'll try to answer as much of them as I can. And yeah, let me know as well what you think of the quality, because my computer is going on the fritz a bit. I've had it for like 6 years, 7 years or something, so I need to get a new one at some point. But it gives out too easily, so yeah, it's I just thought I'd do it on my iPad because it would be so much easier to do a stream like this. Although I don't know what effect this has on the iPad's battery life. I've got 24% battery life so far, so we'll see how it does on the iPad's battery life, if it can hold up. Alright, let me go to the top of these comments and I can start answering some questions for you guys. And I apologize if this isn't not probably the best looking video, but like I said, I'm doing this live stream on the iPad. There's not the greatest lighting. Everyone else in the house is asleep. And yeah, I would like to use my actual studio, my studio quality microphone and everything, but my computer is a bit on the fritz lately, so I'm primarily saving its life for editing my videos. Okay, so a lot of you guys saying hello, sup, all that kind of stuff, yeah. Okay, where are the questions? Draker, the word live stream caught your eye. I don't do them very often. I once did a live playthrough of Telltale's Batman episode 1 after I did the 3-minute review of it. And that was a really nice experience, although it would cut out a lot. My brother in the room downstairs would always be watching me live and then come upstairs saying it got cut off, which was so annoying. So, yeah, that wasn't so good. Let's see. Okay, when is the Suicide Squad video coming out? Okay, this is something I'll talk to you guys about right now. I don't like to rush my videos. There are certain people that like to rush videos out as soon as, a movie is new and hot, even if it means compromising the quality of the video. I didn't want to do that. I know you guys always like to see my videos when they're in their truest form because you guys always give me a lot of nice comments, a lot of nice feedback. And the truth is, I spend so much time editing these videos and so much time goes into them. And, I didn't want to just, just quickly rush it out even though I was not happy with it. So I don't publish a video unless I'm happy with it. Particularly with my versus videos. The quick movie reviews is kind of in their name, that they have to be quick. But the versus videos, I want them to be great. And the Suicide Squad video, right around the time I had finished doing the script, I was I didn't have time to make it. The video was going to be 30 minutes, and I had other videos that I needed to work on, so I didn't get around to doing it. So I'm sorry about that. The script is complete. I just have to do all the editing, and I will try to get that video done at some point. But it's just not right now, because right now I'm working on 3 versus videos. I'm writing all 3 right now. I'm going back and forth. They're mostly done, except for one of them. One of them, it's Spider-Man 3 versus Into the Spider-Verse versus Spider-Man No Way Home. The other one, I'll make an announcement to you now, actually, part of the 60,000 subscribers special. The other versus video that I'm making is Zack Snyder's Justice League versus the Avengers. The first Avengers movie. I am actually making that as well. I'm trying to do both that and the Spider-Man No Way Home versus video. But at the same time, I got a third versus video that I'm trying to get done, and I need to make sure that I'm going to try to get these done before the Batman comes out, because then I got another 3-way versus video on the way there. So, yeah, that's currently my plan. So the Eternals video, I literally just finished it about, I think, 20 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago. So that is, I'm uploading it right now. Hopefully tomorrow I'll make the thumbnail, because it's late now. So I'll go to sleep in the morning, I'll make the thumbnail, and then, we'll try getting it up at some point. I always try to upload the video at about 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock my time, because that's around the time when you guys are available. So yeah, that's what's going on with the Suicide Squad versus video. I will try to make it, I just haven't made it yet. Doing a versus video on Avengers Endgame versus No Way Home. Not really, because there are a lot of other movies I could imagine comparing to No Way Home before I get to Avengers. So let's start off with the Spider-Man 3 and Into the Spider-Verse first, because those are the true comparisons that you would want to make with a film like that. Favorite streaming service? I'd just say Netflix, because Netflix are coming out with stuff like pretty much every other week. So I would say Netflix right now, but HBO Max, when that comes to the UK, I did have to use a VPN to actually use that for when they were releasing a couple movies on at the time. But now I don't have the VPN no more and stuff, so I can't do that anymore. I'll try to do it again if I really, really have to, but for the most part, it's hard to do. It's just too much money to go get a VPN and then to buy, do the HBO Max. So hopefully it'll come into the UK, and when it does, I'll get it, because they've got so much of my childhood Cartoon Network shows and Batman shows and Justice League shows. So I would love HBO Max to come and arrive in the UK. But they need to drop that price down a bit, because it is too high. It's I think the most expensive streaming service. So they need to be a bit more competitive, because I don't want to have to spend, I'm already on Amazon Prime, their streaming service, Disney Plus, and I think I share a family Netflix account. So to add another streaming service on top of that, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I just don't like having to subscribe to so many services, so that's why. Fireboy says, what do I think of the Eternals? You just gotta stay tuned for the review, that'll be out soon. Have I seen Arcane? Yes, I have. Really good show. The problem for me is that the first 3 episodes were so amazing that the others were really good, but they didn't peak for me as much as the 3rd episode did. But yeah, Arcane, fantastic show. The animation was beautiful. There was one shot I felt like I was going to fall on my knees in just awe. It's like that. There was a certain landscape shot that was so beautiful that it really spoke to me visually from an artistic point of view, and I was like, that is so fantastic. I was like, I got to put that as my desktop wallpaper. It was that good. Do I have high hopes for Stranger Things Season 4? I do, because I do like the 3 seasons of Stranger Things. I know Season 3, not everyone was keen on it, but I've liked all 3 seasons so far, so yeah, I'm definitely curious. I just wonder how much older the kids are going to be. Oh, and I was donated $2. Wow. I've not done this live stream stuff very often, so I've seen other people do it and get this stuff. I don't expect this thing normally to happen to me, so thanks for the donations. Um, I'm not trying to make this. I'm not trying to do a greedy like donate to me thing here, but that's apparently what goes on in these live streams too. And I did not even ask any of you to do it. So if you are feeling generous and want to donate, be sure to donate. And I do have some more news, seeing as this is a 60,000 subscriber special. I do have more news coming with regards to some content I'm planning on doing. So I've already told you some of my YouTube contents. I'll tell you some content I'm looking to do on TikTok and Instagram at some point, and maybe YouTube Shorts. And I'll also tell you some Patreon exclusive content that I'm willing to do, still at the $1 price point. And like I said, if we reach 100 patrons, right? If I get 100 patrons, even on the $1 sort of like perk, I will make that How to Train Your Dragon Versus video, and I'll do it like I used to with the actual music from the movie. And it doesn't matter if the video gets copyright claimed or anything, because normally that is not very good for a YouTube channel, especially if you're looking for it to grow. But if I reach 100 patrons, I'll bite the bullet and just do it, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully everything will be fine. What do I think of What If and Loki? Loki I still have not seen, so unfortunately, I'm sorry guys, I just can't. I know you guys really want me to watch Loki, but the thing is, in order to watch it, I need to... Then you guys want me to do a Let's Binge Watch on it. It's too much work to do, you know, especially because, like I said, I've got these other 3 videos I'm working on, and I'm working on additional content too, so it's a lot of work to do, so we'll see what happens. I think I did say to one of my viewers who asked me that question, I said I might do it on Instagram as part of my Let's Binge Watch, because I am doing Let's Binge Watch stuff on Instagram. I did it with Cobra Kai Season 4, so I'll do it with Loki at some point. I'll definitely try. What If? I've seen only about 2 episodes, and I'll try to do the same thing with that at some point too. Pretty good quality. Thoughts on Spider-Man PS4? Man, there's a lot of comments that I have to... Okay, let me scroll through these faster. There's a lot coming through. Will I ever do Breaking Bad versus Better Call Saul? Probably not. Breaking Bad to me was good, but I haven't seen it for such a long time. I'll need to watch it again, and then to watch Better Call Saul, which I haven't seen at all. It will just be taking way too long to... It'll put like a big hold and pause on all my other videos that you guys will want to see, so probably not. Is that a window? No, that's a skylight. But yeah, pretty much a window. Did I see The Mandalorian yet? Yeah, I've seen Season 1 and 2. Season 1 I reviewed on my Patreon as part of my podcasts. Season 2, I don't think I reviewed that. I was going to do a video on the return of a certain character, but I didn't end up doing it, unfortunately. I think I put that on my Patreon too as part of an incomplete video. What is worst date right now? Marvel or DC? DC. If you know that they're trying to swap out Ben Affleck with Batgirl, and they're trying to swap out Henry Cavill as Superman with Supergirl. I understand the situation, since Ben Affleck was doing a lot better when he left the Batman role, so I understand that, but still, changing it to Batgirl is not the way. And when Henry Cavill and other directors want to make a Superman movie, doing the Supergirl thing is stupid. Like, really, this is going to blow up in their face. Have I seen the funeral scene from the Batman? No. That is my most anticipated movie, and it's the only movie that I'm not going to watch any clips or any more trailers of. I just want to wait to see the movie and then review it for you guys, after having seen no spoilers. Let's see what other questions. Who do you find better, Coco or Encanto? I haven't seen Encanto yet, but Coco was a really great movie. I didn't expect too much from it, but I actually had to hold back tears by the end. It was shocking how great that was. And it was also dark in a way which I haven't seen from Disney in a while. I mean, I think it's Pixar that did that, I think. But yeah, more of that, please. That was fantastic. Oh, thanks, Blitzo. You all don't spam. I'll get to your questions. So it's okay. But this is my first sort of like live stream I've properly done on YouTube. So by all means, spam it. I'll do my best while I have battery left on this iPad. Please do more live chats. I'll try. You guys let me know if you want me to do more of these, and I'll consider doing them. Cowboy fan says, congrats. Well, thank you very much. Man, these questions are going through so quick. It's easy to miss some of these. Thoughts on Sonic Movie 2? the trailer for the first movie got me a lot more than the trailer for the second movie. That's how I'll put it. I want to see more goofy Jim Carrey. Idris Elba, he's fantastic. That's a great choice for Knuckles. I would not have ever thought of him, but I'm glad they did. What are my thoughts on Hellboy 2019? That movie had a lot of potential. I said in one of my videos, I think it was my Venom versus video, but unfortunately, if you read into it, it turns out that a lot of studio meddling got involved with that, and the director had zero creative control. I mean, if you've heard directors losing creative control before, it was nothing compared to what this poor director, had to go through with Hellboy. That was a horror story if you read what went on behind the scenes. So, yeah. Oh, Yaku the Burning Muto. Hello, Eric. How are things? Big fan since 2019. Oh, that's great. Thanks. Super chat. That's what it was. Just goes to show how I'm not. I didn't think of the financial stuff when it came to this live stream. I just wanted to talk to you guys live. If you want to do any super chats, you can go ahead and do so as well, and it'll definitely highlight your comment because it puts it in a box here where it's much easier to see, and it sort of like keeps it in place for me. So if you want any other further questions, then yeah, please do donate to me via the super chat. It will really help me in doing this full time. It will really support me, and you get to have your question asked as well. It says I got £4 here donated to me. Thank you very much, guys, for the donations. I really do appreciate that. Saber King, hey Eric, buddy, congrats on 60,000 subscribers. Oh, thank you very much. What are your plans for the Batman? Oh man, that comment has disappeared. My plans for the Batman, I've already said. Thank goodness I've actually answered that question already, so it's okay. Yeah, I've already told you my plans for the Batman. I'm gonna do a Batman Begins versus Tim Burton's first Batman movie versus the Batman, because those are all those movies were like the first film for those versions of Batman. So I'm going to compare how each movie did at introducing and developing its Batman for the very first film. So that's why I'm going to do that as my first video. I know some people want to see me do the Dark Knight. I'll drop a mention. I'll see if I can drop a mention in my conclusion segment, or possibly, if I have the time, make maybe a Dark Knight versus the Batman video. That actually has just gotten me excited just saying that out loud. I've thought of it, but speaking to you guys live, it's made me more excited to potentially do it. But I don't want to overwork myself, because I've done that before where I've overworked myself and I don't release certain videos that I've promised to you guys, and I don't like doing that. I've promised myself I wouldn't do that, but we'll see. It's a possibility, but one video at a time. Even though I'm working on 3 right now, and you'll get a separate 4th video tomorrow. Liam J. Budd, who's donated $3 to me on thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate that. Any tips for starting a movie channel? Big fan, by the way. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, this is it's kind of annoying when you hear people say this, because you want more help than this, but be yourself. I actually have, in some of my earlier videos, you might spot that I've actually taken certain opinions. Well, not opinions, the opinions are all mine, but I've delivered my opinions in a way which is similar to some other YouTubers. Like, this is a long time ago. And that normally comes from a place of fear. You're always afraid that you're not going to be as good as that person, so you try to emulate some of that person because you like that person and you're hoping to be as good as that person because you kind of look up to that content creator, if you know what I mean. That's something that you do. Some people would get really offended with that kind of thing. I remember one person kind of did get annoyed that I did that. But I don't get annoyed when people do it with my content because I see where they're coming from, because I used to be like that too. But it's true what they say when they say be your own person when you're doing all of these videos, because if you're mimicking someone else, then you're an inferior copy. You're not being yourself. The reason people are watching my videos or anyone else's videos is because they're interested in their perspective. You always have to come at something from a certain point of view. And my point of view seems to be very different from other people's point of views, because I talk about certain details in movies that other people do not talk about. And that's something that I'm being told by everyone is what they really like about my videos, that I speak about stuff that other people don't. And it takes a lot of time to edit those into my videos, those controversial opinions, because it takes a lot of extra editing time, a lot of extra script writing time. Then I've got to find ways to phrase it in a way which is interesting. And yeah, it does take a lot more effort and work. Let me reduce the brightness just so I have more battery life on my iPad here. Do you think Willem Dafoe would great and surpass Heath Ledger? He could be an amazing Joker. He really can. But I really do think The Goblin would be a bit of a movie for him. So I like to see him as Joker. We'll see how he does. If they ever do it, I really hope they find a way. But I feel like the Green Goblin is more his area because he seems to be scarier when he's physically powerful as well, not just mentally powerful. So, do you watch Cobra Kai? Do you like it? Yes, I have. Eric, why do you like The Dark Knight even though the main character is not very interesting? I think the character in The Dark Knight is very interesting. I mean, um, in Batman Begins, he was interesting. That's where he was being developed. It was really his movie. So to see him in The Dark Knight, it was a lot of fun because you got to see how he would cope under pressure. Because in Batman Begins, he had pressure, but ultimately it seemed like, even though he lost against the Scarecrow, it felt like he. Not like he had it under control, but it felt like you trusted his judgment to get the job done. In The Dark Knight, you don't know if he can win the war. That's the thing. It's like you've won the battle, but you will not win the war. And Batman loses battles in there, and he loses the war at the very end, him and Commissioner Gordon. But they, through that lie, they essentially try to win the war until The Dark Knight Rises, where Bane takes that back and has them lose the war again. It was like just inevitable. Down the line, it was going to come back and bite them on the butt. So, and that's what happened. It's basically is what they say when they say the truth will eventually come out. So there's a lot of interesting themes in that. It's the theme that I liked, and like I said, the fact that Joker was causing him so much trouble. That was really for me why I really liked it so much. So it's not just the character, the fact that maybe he probably didn't have as much development. It's watching him. He had his development back begins. He gets more development here, but it's watching him try to navigate the problems that the Joker is presenting to him, and seeing how he overcomes it, if he overcomes it. And that's what was so fun about The Dark Knight, and that's why The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. There's many reasons it's my favorite movie of all time. Okay, let me scroll up on those comments. Spoody says celebration by 6,000. Yeah, it definitely has been. Amar Chandra says, I've been watching your videos since you were a kid. Since you were a kid, or since... I think next to the keyboard, next to the letter U, there is a I. I think you mean since you were a kid. Oh, well, that's great. I really do appreciate that you've stuck around for so long. I always get afraid of, getting this connection to my viewers, and then if YouTube no longer updates them and I don't see them again. I really know that's one of my biggest nightmares on YouTube, and that has happened, unfortunately. One of my older viewers will comment, and I'm like, hey, I haven't seen your comment for such a long time. And they'll say, yeah, I didn't know you were making videos for like the last 9 months. It's like I didn't even think you were making videos anymore, but it turns out I have been. It's just YouTube. Every time I upload a video on YouTube, my subscriber numbers go down. It's just what happens. When you upload a video, you lose subscribers. That's been going on YouTube for like 2 years, 3 years now. Maybe more, and I just can't remember, but it's been so long. It's something that I always worry about. It does give you a bit of anxiety, but now I just think it's just something that's going to happen. You just have to deal with it. So that's why I always say to you guys, click the bell next to the subscribe icon in case, because that happens, because I don't want to lose any of you guys. Love interacting with all of you, and I try my best to interact with all of you on my YouTube comments, and even on Instagram. I reply to a lot of you on there as well. Which is the favourite videos you've made? That has changed over the years. Like, it used to be my Injustice review for the PS Vita. That I was very proud with that video. Probably my most favourite video now is the Zack Snyder Justice League versus Justice League video. I just put so much hours and work into that, and I'm so happy with the way it's turned out. And the fact I'm just looking at it now, it's got 802,000 views, 246 views, which is so much. My dog ate it all. Says he's been subscribed for 2 years. Thank you very much. Like I said, I appreciate all of you so much, and the fact that you've been subscribed for this long is something words can't describe how much I appreciate you guys. And this landmark that we've reached, 60,000, I'm just so happy, and I'm so glad I've got the best viewers a content creator could possibly ask for. Ethan's Drawings. Hey Eric, I'm the Instagrammer named Ramses Fluggerbutter 2012. You might remember me. Just want to say that you're the best movie critic I've ever watched on YouTube. That's, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Toy Story versus video? One day I'd like to. I was going to do Toy Story 3 versus 4 at one point, or was I going to do Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4 versus each other, but I just couldn't get around to doing it in the end. like I say, these videos take a long time, and yeah, I didn't think I would get it done in the end, so I just stopped. Although I did write, like, I think, was it half the script or more than half the script, but I couldn't finish it in the end. Looking back on your old reviews of Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Parts 1 and 2, have your ratings changed? Say Grande, Eli Grande, and I've seen your comments on my videos for a long time too. I can't remember what my opinions were on them in my video. I do remember when I watched them, I thought they weren't as good as the books, but they were. I liked how dark they were, even though the books were much darker. I don't know what scores I gave them, so I don't know how to really answer that question. I will say I have gone a bit easier on the movies as time has gone on. I'm not as strict on them anymore. Mainly because there's a lot of stuff in the books I've forgotten about because I haven't read them in years, but even so, I think it's because now I know what to expect from them. My expectation of them is not as high, and I just kind of accept it for what they are. Although I still think they could have done just little stuff which would have been big improvements at points. Let's see. Do you remember? Chiron T14 says, "Do you remember Gary? I commented some weird shit on one of your videos like 5 years ago, and you replied, and you were really confused." I actually can't remember that. If it's a few years ago, I get so many comments that I reply to. I remember some weird stuff, but not all of them. Will you start a Discord server? Yes, that's something I've heard a lot of people say they want me to do. The shame is that I probably should know what it is fully, but I don't 100% know what it is, and that's something I need to educate myself on before I actually do it. I have tried to open up a Reddit though, and I've not been very good at it, so it's something I need to spend more time on. Zilla Universe says, "I hope I'm not late." No, bud, you're not late, and I don't know. Maybe this will get saved and uploaded on my channel later on. I don't know. Brandon says, Stega. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't mean to be saying that name wrong, but congratulations on reaching 60,000 subs. I've been. Damn it! Where'd the comment go? Oh, darn it! It's just gone so high up, and it's like it's not letting me go back up. Thank you to all of you that are basically congratulating me. I really do appreciate that. Let's get caught up on some of these comments because it doesn't like it when I let them keep scrolling by. And we're still getting more donations coming through, so thank you guys so much. Like I said, I really do appreciate all of this, any of the donations. It really helps support the channel. Can you show us the progress of how you're getting show us the progress of getting 60,000 subscribers? It's just making content and just being consistent, trying to maintain a level of consistency with the content, make content that people want to see. Because I always wanted to be a movie reviewer, but you'll probably notice with my older videos, I actually was doing like phone reviews, tech reviews. So the reason why I did that is because I thought there's no way there's any more space. It's too saturated movie reviewing on YouTube, so I didn't do it. But then there was a tech reviewer that was doing versus videos on smartphones. And when I was thinking, okay, I can't do the smartphone thing because there's just people are getting much better quality equipment. I can't afford the better quality equipment, and my phone reviews, I get the phones to review from companies a bit later than all the other professional phone reviewers. So I was like, this is not working for me. So I thought, okay, I'll try to do versus videos on movies, and we'll see how that goes. I actually said on one of my videos, I think it was a channel announcement video, I said I'm going to be doing a series of video which could lead into a series of videos. And that video that I announced then was basically a series of unfortunate events. Lemony Snicket, the TV show, versus the movie, the first season. So I basically did that. I did that video, and then it turned into the Versus series that we know that it is now. So that's how it's done. Just like I've said earlier, just make the content, think it through. You just have to do basic edits, and you'll essentially get some really high quality movie reviewing going. But make sure you get a good microphone. I use a Rode NT USB microphone, and I use it in conjunction with the Audacity software, which is free audio recording software, and it works a treat. You've heard the sound quality of my reviews since my 3-minute reviews show that I've been using this microphone on, so it's been fantastic. Goku is better says, I've been watching since 10,000 subscribers. You've been watching since 10,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. What's your favorite car chase in the movie? Mine is the highway chase in The Matrix Reloaded, says B-Force Gaming, who donated $10. Thank you so much. I almost lost your comment there as I quickly read it before it disappeared. Favorite car chase in a movie? That is a very good question. There are just so many. I liked the. I liked the. I liked. I think I liked the chase scene that was in the Bourne Ultimatum. The car chase scene there, that was fantastic. And I also like the Dark Knight chase scene. There's so many, but I think that's my favorite. But yeah, the Matrix one was fantastic. Someone says here, thank you so much for reviewing Justice League versus Justice League. Well, that's no problem. That was just as much for me as it was for you guys. It really was. Please review Peacemaker when all episodes release. I'll consider doing that on Mr. Wise Guy says that, and he donated $2. Again, thank you so much for your donations, guys. Seriously, it really does help. Um, Peacemaker, I haven't seen it yet because, like I said, I haven't got HBO Max. They need to. I don't know if there's another way. I just know HBO Max is the way to watch that right now. I'll try. We'll see if I do on an Instagram thing where I review it on there and do a binge watch there. Chris Yo Boy says, hello. I've been a big fan since about 2 years ago. I really got inspired from you and another YouTuber, and I really love your videos, and that's really all. I hope you respond to this, and if you don't, I tried. Like I said, I tried to respond to all comments. And Chris Yo Boy, thank you so much for those words. When people say that I help them with filmmaking and like giving them advice on storytelling and stuff, I really do appreciate that. I never expected that. I thought I'd just be at best, I thought it would be people would want to watch me review movies. I didn't know that they would actually take, like, when they were learning how to screenwrite and everything, I didn't know that they would actually take opinions, like, from me and lessons from me when I talk about movies in my videos. But they do, and I really, words can't describe how nice that is. Thoughts on Encanto? Roshana Xavier Paul. I'm sorry, I haven't seen that movie yet. I do want to, but I haven't had time yet. Devin Krant says, what are your thoughts on Hawkeye? I've done a whole Let's Binge Watch video, and I will release the Let's Binge Watch of Hawkeye all in one video where I just review the whole season. So if you want to wait for that and watch my whole video there rather than watching it in a two-parter, you can do that too. That should be coming soon. But yeah, I loved Hawkeye. It could be better, definitely, but it was the best of the crop for me. I really did enjoy it. It was such a nice show to me. It was so relaxing, honestly, and I liked the cast of actors they got. I did have some problems with it, but watch my reviews to know what I thought and what I liked and what I didn't like. It says, no, you went back to 59.9 subs. Like I said, that's just something that YouTube does. Unfortunately, they make you lose subscribers, but I'll get back up there quick enough. It's not a big deal. Once you've passed it, you've essentially passed it. I'll get back up there, hopefully. So, Titan Season 3, what's your opinions on it? I actually liked Titan Season 1. I did not like Titan Season 2. That was a struggle to get through. So Season 3, I just didn't even bother. I thought I'll probably watch an episode or two, but I've heard that it gets bad as it goes on, so I thought, yeah, no point. I'll just ignore that. There's too much shows to watch that I need to catch up on, let alone add new ones to the list. So there's certain shows, if I can just skip them, I'll skip them, honestly. The G Gamer says, do you prefer one-sided versus videos or both sides videos like both movies are good? It really just depends. I actually like them both, Honestly, thing is, when I'm doing a one-sided versus video, it's kind of fun because you know that the other movie is bad and you just have fun trashing on it, especially if it's a misguided movie like Justice League. Then you have fun trashing it. But I don't like. It's not that I don't like. I do like doing versus videos when the two movies are like much more evenly matched and everything. But it's harder to verbalize everything, so it becomes much more challenging, and then it gets easier to piss people off. That's the thing which I don't really like. Oh, Chris, your boy, it's okay. Maybe So yeah, basically that's what it is. I always wait patiently for your videos. You're not just my favorite movie critic, but my favorite YouTuber, says Lucinda Reeds. Oh, thank you so much for that. The first video of yours I saw was the It video. Yeah, that video's got over 1 million views. I did not expect that. I worked so hard. I actually said goodbye to my friends who actually invited me in and says that we can have some food. And I actually said, no, I've got to work on my It versus video and an iPhone being a scam video. I said I've got to go back home and work on those and get those out. And I worked I worked on both those videos, and both of those are now my top 2 most viewed videos with over 1 million views. It is. I could not have expected that, so it's a good thing I didn't join with them. But apparently, the food was very good, I heard. Phoenix Hunter Jr., YouTube Jr. says, "Congratulations, Eric, on 60,000. Dear Eric, what's your opinion on the Boondocks? I haven't seen or heard of that. I'm so sorry. I know you really want to know my opinions on this because you've been commenting this quite a few times. I haven't seen it. I'm so sorry. Eric Carter fan 169. Hey Eric, you're the best, bro. I love you, man. Yeah, I love you too. Thank you very much. What's my worst movie ever? I think I said the movie I really didn't like was Cars because I had a very bad experience with that. Search my channel for a Q&A video. I go into more detail about that story, so take a look at that. How long does it take you to edit a versus video? It really depends on the length and how hard it is to write the script and compare the movie. It usually takes me. It can if I work so hard and the video short versus video is shorter, that's a big thing. If it's shorter, like say 10-15 minutes, it used to take me about a week and a half, especially with my early versus videos, the ones that were much shorter. But then as it went on, I started to get more of a following on my versus videos. I thought, okay, now I can make them longer. And people really like the longer form videos, but the problem is they take a lot longer to make. My longest versus video, I think, was my Spider-Man 2 versus Amazing Spider-Man 2 versus Spider-Man Far From Home versus video. That was a 45-minute video. It took me so long to make, and some people were like constantly asking me every single day, every few hours at times, when will that video come out? And it was so hard and challenging to reach that video because you got to remember, the longer the videos are, the more likely they're going to get copyright claimed, a false copyright claim, or false copyright claims. Then I got to go back into the video, make certain changes, but not big, huge changes that compromises the video. And that is just so much work. And my computer, like I said, I need to get a new computer at some point. I just don't have the funds to do so yet. That's why when I say, please donate, it helps. It really does help in that way too. That's what I mean. It helps with like helping me get the equipment to make this show better and even quicker. So when I say stuff on page, I do stuff on Patreon. It's not me being cruel. It's just finding other ways to make income on here to make this a full-time gig for myself. So yeah, that's why. Lego Ant-Man Studio says I've been watching since 2018. That is so nice to hear. I appreciate that. My iPad just said I got 10% battery life left. Let me just drop the brightness more to save some more battery. Okay, brightness has dropped down more. Eric Carter says, love you, brother. I love you too. How long does it take you to edit a versus video? I've already answered that. I found your channel from your Chucky versus Chucky video. Oh, that's actually one of my favorite videos too, I gotta say. That I liked the way I was able to use the music. I even went onto YouTube. And well, not YouTube, but Twitter at the time before my account was suspended, and I says that the composer for that music, Brian Gear was his name, how could I forget his name? He's such a memorable name, but I lost it. Bear McCreary, that was it. I tweeted saying that his soundtrack gets better and better the more you listen to it, and he liked my tweet, which was really good. But yeah, my account got hacked, and now it's suspended my account, which is so unfortunate. So. Lego Ant-Man Studio says, Eric, I love your videos so much that I look every day to see if you made a new video. Oh, that's so nice. That is. I mean, I have been experimenting more lately. I've been trying to do more like smaller videos, like reviews, and this way I can give you guys more content rather than just waiting for my next versus video, the next versus video, next versus video. They take so long to do that way, you're getting less videos. So I tried something a bit different recently, and I'm getting more videos out, which is cool. Eric Carter fan says, Eric, you've been amazing. I love your content because unlike all the fake YouTubers out there, you give us your real opinion, and I can hear it in your voice. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. Again, thank you so much, Eric Carter fan. You are really, 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 really generous with your compliments. I really appreciate that. I'm going back to some of the videos you made, and I will keep them in mind when I write my manga, says Shinigami Huntsman. Oh, I really appreciate that. Shinigami, Death Note fan, I see. Congrats on 60,000 subscribers, says Sick Mountains. Please, what editing software do you use? I use Adobe Premiere Pro CS6. I know there's CC, but I don't have CC, and I didn't like the design of it, but at some point I should update to it. Like I said, though, that comes all down to, me getting funding for new equipment, which I'm still going to get more use out of this computer that I have, but at some point I will need to upgrade. Oh, I just lost a comment there from Eric Carter fan again. I really do appreciate your kind words. Why do this? Says, hey Eric, glad to see you've made it 6,000 subscribers. Oh, thank you very much. I don't remember how many subscribers you had when I started watching, but the first video I watched was It versus It. Yeah, a lot of people found me that way. That video is my second, no, it's my first most viewed video, which is, yeah, it's like, that is also, I'd say that also is one of my favorite verse videos. Both my It videos, I really do like those. Um, Eric, what is your favorite Cobra Kai season? I think I said my favorite season was season 2. That was where I was like really getting into like a streak where I was like just watching so many of them on like just binge watching them, and I had so much fun. When it was over, I wanted to see so badly season 3. I want to say to all of you guys though as well, because I can't do updates on Twitter, I have mainly moved on to Instagram so I can keep you guys updated, and I'm doing more reviews on there too. Like sometimes I'll do voice reviews, like very quick voice reviews where I talk about what I thought of something I just saw. Other times I'm posting written reviews for you guys to read and just imagine I'm saying it out loud. So follow me on Instagram if you want to know what I think of more current movies and shows I'm watching. I will write my thoughts on there when I talk about the Book of Boba Fett show, because I haven't seen a single episode yet. Um, so if you want to know my thoughts on that, be sure to do that. I'll try to cover the Obi-Wan show when that comes on YouTube. I'll try to cover that. But shows like this, especially because the Book of Boba Fett, I'm not hearing many very good things about it. I'll just cover that on my Instagram. So if you want to know my thoughts on it, be sure to follow me there. Nuts Hungerverse says, how long does it take to edit a versus video? I think I've already answered that. I think it's giving me some repeat questions, unless they're being commented again. What is Lightning and Thunder says, what is the best TV show? Mine is Samurai Jack, and I think you should watch it too. Please, it is so good. Samurai Jack is a show I really wanted to watch so badly as a kid, but at the time it was only available on Toonami, and it was not available in Cartoon Network UK version. So yeah, that hurt me a lot. That did. I really wanted to watch that show, and I think I have watched some episodes now that I'm older, but I haven't gone through the whole show. It's not as easy to watch a whole show like it was when we were kids. Alex Gamer says, your videos are way more entertaining than any other movie review channel. Oh, that means a lot. There are a lot of movie review channels, so the fact that you think that, that means a lot. Did I see Demon Slayer? Yes, I did. Me and my brother saw it. We loved it. It was weird at the beginning, and sometimes it would get a bit slow, a bit like, when is the show going to kick in? But as we got going, we were so hooked, and by the end of it, we didn't want it to stop. We were so in the mood for Demon Slayer that we saw the movie. That was so much fun. I was going to put that... That's a movie I regret not putting on my best of list. I really do regret that. So I'll probably put that on number 5th or 3rd place, was it? Or was it 4th place? I'll put that in 4th place, I think, now. Demon Slayer, the movie. That was a great film. Eric, how do you clap back against the harsher criticisms on your comment section? Well, if it's trolls, you ignore it. But if it's people giving, like, constructive criticism, then you take it on board. But even so, when people give constructive criticism, they've got to give it in a way which is respectable. Now, the trick is, if there's some people that are not respectable when it comes to giving constructive criticism, but there is still some good feedback in there, then I'll reply to them in a nice way and say, thank you very much for basically... for giving me that advice. I mean, for giving me that feedback. I really do appreciate it. And when I do that, they step back and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, so sorry, I didn't mean it like that," and stuff. And then they're normally cool. That's how you build a relationship with your viewers, even if they're not really that fond of the stuff you make and they call you this and that. So long as it's not too bad, they'll just say, "Oh, you're just a DC fan." That's not offensive. If they say, like, call me, I'm not going to say because YouTube's, algorithm thing, it's not going to like me if I say the words, but if they give just call me bad words and stuff, that's not good. Then those people you don't want to impress. You don't want them on your channel, so you won't even try to sort of, like, make up with them or anything. But other people that have, like mild bad things to say about you, you just be nice to them in return, and there's a respect built. So even if they don't agree with you, they respect you. And if they respect you, they watch you, or then they'll continue to follow you. So, it's all about respect. I respect all of you guys, even if you don't agree with all my opinions, which a lot of you don't always agree with all my opinions, and I respect that every single time. I always say, you respect my opinions, I'll respect your opinions. I'll listen to your opinions too, as if they're 100% valid as well. I won't just say, okay, mine's valid, yours are not. Yours are just as valid, if not more valid than mine. It's just that when I'm making these videos, you guys normally ask me what my opinions are, so I express my opinions. Eric, what do you think of SNL? They can be funny, but they come across too fake and a bit too obvious at times. I think they need to take a hint from the BBC with regards to how they, British comedy is done, because that is the best kind of comedy. They can go really over the top, but there's still some dignity and seriousness to the roles that they're doing. But on SNL, they just get too fake. Let's see. I've got 113 of you watching, 117 likes. For those of you that haven't given any likes, please do give more, because apparently I've heard that's a very good thing for live streams. So please do click those like buttons if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. You see, some more likes are coming in. Like I say, you guys are just the best. You are. I don't have as much. People always say you deserve 1 million subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. This many subscribers. Honestly, if I could get by with just you guys, I would be so happy, because it means I could be more personally connected to you guys, and your comments won't get buried in the millions or whatever. So, your guys' support is I always appreciate it. I never stop appreciating it. Like I said, I just asked for some more thumbs ups. You all gave me thumbs ups. It's not like I'm saying that you have to, but you guys just do it, and I always appreciate that. Really, I do. Eric, remember us when you get fame. I'll never forget any of you guys. Never. Is the Batman being PG-13 a deal breaker? It really is not, because the PG-13 is actually a very good rating. You can get away with a lot with the PG-13 rating. It's just that the comic book movies that we associate with the PG-13 rating now is usually comic book movies that are made predominantly by Disney, and they do not push that PG-13 rating at all. They really do not. But Matt Reeves, you look at his movies, they do push it. For example, in my video, I said Cloverfield was an R-rated movie that Matt Reeves had made. It was only after I published it, about 20 minutes after I uploaded the video, no one commented about it, but I watched the video again and I realized, hang on, Cloverfield was it PG-13 or not? And I checked. I said it was rated R, and I checked. It turns out it was PG-13. So that just goes to show how much he pushes the PG-13 rating, that even I thought Cloverfield was rated R all this time, when it wasn't. So I hear that Warner Brothers were actually, some inside sources were saying that Warner Brothers are very nervous about how dark the Batman is. So Matt Reeves has, I think he's done something really special. At worst, we should get a good movie here. At best, we should get something on par or even better than The Dark Knight. Matt Reeves, hang on, let me check the battery here before I say this. 8%. 8% battery, so that's not too bad. Matt Reeves, he's made my second favourite movie of all time, which is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That movie blew me away when I saw it. I did not expect it to be as good as it was. And my first favourite movie, as you all know, is The Dark Knight. So I was thinking, if anyone could potentially make a movie that could be my number one favourite Batman movie, is the person that made my number two favourite movie of all time. So it's perfect. I could not have thought of a more perfect person to be hired for the Batman, and it looks like he's done a phenomenal job. Let's hope, Mr. A says, let's hope Warner Brothers didn't interfere with the Batman for a PG-13. I hope they didn't too, but from what I hear, if the movie is 2 hours and 55 minutes, it clearly shows they have a lot of faith in it. And Matt Reeves normally doesn't like it when studios interfere. They normally leave him to make the movie that he wants to make, and then you get fantastic movies like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. He said those movies, he said in an interview, which I listened to recently, he said, for better or worse, flaws and all, he said those were essentially the movies that he set out to make. So it just goes to show that he made those movies the way he wanted to, and look at how they turned out. So Warner Brothers must know that. So they should, I'm sure they had faith in him. I just hope they don't let the success of the movie get to their heads, and they let him continue to have full creative control for the sequels. And I hope that they don't try to join that Batman into the DC universe or anything. I really hope not. Did you start to watch Demon Slayer Season 2? What do you think of the Darky as a villain and the other one? I have not seen Demon Slayer Season 2 yet. I'm waiting for I don't know if it's Japanese language or if it's dubbed in English yet. I'm waiting for the English dub. That's how I saw it. I've watched all my animes that way ever since I was a kid. Zoids, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. It just feels like it takes me back to my childhood if I watch anime with the English dub. So I always do that. Sometimes I do Japanese, but most of the time English dub, if it sounds good. If it's the older, really old ones with bad English dubs, then I watch the Japanese translation. But I wonder what inspired Matt to make a Batman movie. Well, we'll wait for the interviews to come out. I'll say this, if there's any... I'm not normally the type of person that wants to interview actors and directors, but if there's anyone that I would like to interview, it is Matt Reeves. I'd like to have a nice long interview with him and ask him all these questions and let him know that Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is my second favourite movie, and that the Batman movie was my most anticipated movie ever since he was signed on to the project. I am a big fan of Matt Reeves, I really am. Throughout this pandemic, I've been watching his other movies, like Cloverfield, which I didn't like as a kid, but as an adult I watched it. It's a really good movie. Let Me In, saw that recently, really good movie as well. And yeah, so he's knocked it out of the park with every movie he's made. Hey Eric, what is your favourite Godzilla movie? Godzilla King of the Monsters is my favourite Godzilla movie by far. Scream versus Scream 5. I was actually thinking of doing Scream 1 versus 2 versus 3 versus 4 versus 5 at first. But then I had to do, you know, the versus videos that I'm working on, including the Spider-Man ones, and I didn't have time to do that. So I did a review of the movie instead. And I do think Scream 5 is the worst movie of all of them. As time passes, you start to think about the movie more, and I am starting to notice more problems. I do think it bothered me before, but it bothers me even more now, the reveal of the killer. I really think they could have given a much better motivation behind it, and I don't like what they're trying to imply about about fandom in general through that movie. It felt a bit too much like Hollywood is fighting back, when really Hollywood is guilty of a lot of stuff. They should not be they're not in a position to be fighting back. Let's not forget the whole movement in Hollywood with regards to harassment and all. It came from the fact that it came from a toxic culture that they started, and then they tried waving their finger at viewers saying that, hey, when it comes to women, be respectful, be this, be that. And it's like, why are you telling us this stuff? You know, decent people should know that themselves, but why are you trying to lecture us on that? And then start accusing us of this stuff. What do you think of the CW show, says Sick Mountains? They used to be good back in the time. They had their CW isms, but they weren't as bad. That's kind of what TV was like at the time, so they kind of just blended in. But there came a point, I think Arrow Season 3 and The Flash Season 4, or was it The Flash Season 5? It was Arrow Season 4 and The Flash Season 5, I think. That's when they were starting to really show the bad side of the CW, and they just turned into crap. I've not seen something from the CW in years, and I gave up watching The Flash years ago too. And occasionally I do like to just search up a clip on YouTube and see what Flash is getting up to, and then I see what they're getting up to, and I'm just shocked. It's like, The Flash was my number one favourite show after I saw Season 1 and Season 2, and to see it to reach such a low is just shocking. It's like, you can clearly tell they've given up. Smallville is a show that went on for 10 seasons, but you can tell with each season that it felt like they had a creative story that they wanted to tell, and it didn't feel like they just gave up and they were just trying to collect a paycheck. A lot of these CW shows now, after the third season, you can tell that the writers just give up. Although I haven't seen for the last couple of years these CW shows, so who knows? Maybe by season 1 they start sucking now. Eric says Phoenix Hunter YouTube Junior. Eric, which is better, PS5 or the PS3? PS5, but it's hard to say because the PS3 has got all its games already. It's once the PS5 has all its games and the PS6 is out, then you can do that comparison. Right now, I'd say it's a bit premature to do that. So I'd say PS3 if you want an answer right now, because it has so much more games going for it. I hear a lot of people are putting their PS5s in the cupboard, the closet, because in storage, because there's no games out for it. David Sherfield says, how do you feel about Warner Brothers sort of being addicted to CGI, but when a budget is low, it sucks, like Beauty and the Beast remake, Beast look like roadkill? I will actually say Warner Brothers are not heavily addicted to CGI. They're using CGI, but when you look behind the scenes, when it comes to the stuff that they should do practically, they generally are. So Aquaman 2 at DC Fandom, when you looked at the behind the scenes stuff, all the stuff when it came to being on land and using like explosions and stuff, that was all in camera. The same with the first Aquaman. Everything underwater was CGI. So they are much better when it comes to CGI. They do a nice mix, and if you've seen the Batman
behind the scenes, it's shocking the stuff they did practically in camera. So that movie is going to, for decades, is going to look amazing because a lot of the stuff that they shot was real. But when you get stuff like Eternals or Shang-Chi, they look dated on the first day you go to see them. And good God, Spider-Man No Way Home, I don't know if you guys know this, that movie, people have actually on Instagram been posting videos saying, hey, they just redid the CGI in this scene. So they have done new passes on CGI because the early versions of the movies that we saw were basically not done. The CGI was not done, yet they charged us full price for a ticket. And people are like, wow, this gives us more reason to watch the movie again. It's like, it gives you more reason to have a refund, or at least to get a discount on the ticket you paid for. Because you basically paid to go see a movie that was incomplete. What version of videos are you currently working on and going to put out? Says Jar Jar Abrams. And that's funny, Jar Jar Abrams copying Endgame, because they did that in The Rise of Skywalker. I've already said the first videos that I'm going to be doing earlier on the live stream. I'm going to do Avengers versus Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I'm still working on. I'm also working on my three-way versus video of Spider-Man 3 versus Into the Spider-Verse versus No Way Home. And if I have time, there's a third Spider-Man video that I'm going to potentially try to do, but I don't want to promise something to you guys and then not live up to it. So I'll say I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if I will, because the Batman's right around the corner as well. The other versus video that I really want to try to do is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy versus the MCU Spider-Man trilogy. So I'll try to do that. And if I don't get it done because the Batman comes out and I have to work on that, I will try to get that done at some point. Just remember, the longer it takes for me to make this No Way Home versus video, it just means I get footage to use from the actual movie and not behind the scenes footage. And ideally, I would like to do that because my first two Spider-Man versus videos, I think from what I remember, I used actual movie footage because the films were released at the time. And I'd like to do that with the third versus video to just seal off my trilogy of versus videos. So, yeah. Kongzilla says, what's your favorite Spider-Man movie? The first 2002 Spider-Man movie from Sam Raimi. That was a big part of what made that movie great was when you were there watching it when it came out, because Spider-Man was considered by many, especially adults, to be a kid's thing. So the only reason adults got interested in Spider-Man in the first place is because Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 took everyone by surprise. That's what got adults into it, like my parents. Prior to that, they were like, Spider-Man's childish thing. If you want to watch it, fine, but we're not going to be interested. They watched it, they loved it. That went for every other adult out there too. So that's why Spider-Man is so much more universally accepted even by adults nowadays, because of that first Raimi movie, which had such an impact. And Uncle Ben's death is like just a cliche now, but back then it was something we didn't expect. So when we saw it, it took us all by surprise. We were all shocked. And when Peter cried over Uncle Ben's body, I remember as a kid, I was like, I would have cried just like that. I would have been upset just like that. I would probably want to get revenge just like that. And Tom Holland's Spider-Man has never reached that level of relatability. I'd even say Andrew Garfield's hasn't reached that level of relatability, but that's why Maguire is my favourite Spider-Man. Everything in that movie, the way his arc went, I think it was beautiful. It really was. Gabriel Zungai, I'm so sorry, buddy. He says, thoughts on Ed, Edd and Eddy. Oh, I love Ed, Edd and Eddy. Ed, Edd and Eddy is my number one favourite Cartoon Network show of all time. I still watch it to this day occasionally here and there, so it's a fantastic show. It's also on HBO. It's also on HBO Max as well, which is cool. Now says I have 5% battery life. So, and it's 1:31 a.m. in the morning here, man. Eric, can you please do Sing versus Sing 2, says Sloan Falgoat. I haven't seen the Sing movies. I've heard you give me, I think it might have been you that has commented about requesting me to do this. It's not something that I would actually think of doing a versus video on, considering the other stuff that is out and the other stuff I've been requested to do. But who knows? I might at some point if I've got less stuff to do, but there's other videos that I want to try to get to. Satvik Madini says, hey Eric Carter, thoughts on Man of Steel? Man of Steel to me is the definition of an average movie. I am so split right down the center with it. that I can see why people hate it, and I can see why people like it, and I can see why people think it's just okay, and I think it's just okay. Then again, I haven't seen it in years now. If I see it again, I'll be interested to know what I think. Carlos Garcia says, "Do you hate Illumination?" No. But then again, I've only seen Despicable Me once when it came out. I've seen the second movie once, I think, in my cousin's house because I was bored. It was just on, so I just watched it. And I don't think I've seen the third movie. And I've not seen the Minions movie either because I've heard it wasn't very good. But yeah, no, I don't hate them. They occupy their own space and they give people a lot of fun. Tegan Snyder says 59,000. What are you talking about? Well, I did actually surpass 60,000 when I did this live stream, but now I seem to have lost some. So I practically reached that 60,000 point at this point. David Sherfield says the CW was once a legend, and they brought out the most sexual parts of the characters. It came to making when they I think he means when, and when they brought out the most sexual parts of the characters, it came to making zero sense. Yeah, then it was less about character development and more about self-justification. Look, we put this diversity thing inside here. That basically means we're very forward, we're very progressive. We're not bad people. We're not. If you don't like this, you're the bad people. It really stems from insecurity and people trying to show, look how forward we are. We are very good people. If you're trying that hard to prove that you're good people, I feel like they're hiding something. These people. Eric Carter fan says, "I love you, man. You're the best." I say you guys are all the best, far better than I am. Kingdom of Winter says, "Good job on the 6,000 subscribers. 6,000 subscribers. Thank you very, very much." Here's to 70,000, and then my big goal is 100,000 right now. Eric, have you heard of what happened with Alec Baldwin? I actually have, but I haven't heard any follow up on that, and I completely forgot about it until you just mentioned it, Phoenix Hunter. You know what, guys? Give me a second. Let me just see if I can get a charger here. Oh, thank you very much for the donation here. $5 donation. Let me see if I can get the charger to my iPad here. Oh, this might pose a problem because the charger is on this side. Bear with me a second. Your iPad is at 1%. You better get the charger while I'm getting the charger for mine. Oh, okay, that seems to work quite nicely. I hope. Give me a second, let me check. Yep, my iPad is charging. My sound is very low. How does my sound now? Is it better? Let me know. Someone says my sound is very low. Is the sound low on the live stream? Same sound. Okay, that's good. That's good. IMT R3 Play, thank you very much for the $5 donation. Like I said, this all helps. If it really helps in making, helping support the show, and like I said, helping me get new equipment. Because if I can get a faster computer, I can get more videos out. Because I do have to work around a computer that is aging. So, what is your opinion on Cobra Kai and Young Sheldon / Big Bang Theory? Cobra Kai, I love Cobra Kai. I've already said this on the stream. I love it, and I love it so much that I don't like to normally do videos on it. I just like to sit down, watch it, not write notes. I just want to watch it as like a normal show because I have to cover so much of the stuff I watch. I can't enjoy them 100% without having to analyze it extra in my head normally. So yeah, I love Cobra Kai. Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon. It's very interesting you ask me about that because during the pandemic, a lot of us were inside watching extra stuff and spending more time on streaming services. And I think it was one of my sisters that put on Big Bang Theory, and I thought it was a bit weird at first, but eventually I got into it. And we've watched the whole show several times now because it's been on in the background when we used to have tea or eat or anything. We used to watch it. It's such a fun show. It's not the great show. It copied Friends a lot of times. And the thing I never liked about Big Bang Theory was that it was just ended so abruptly. I was like, you could continue the arc of this joke here. You could continue the character's journey here and bring it to some kind of conclusion, development. Just something. That's what other sitcoms like Friends do or Fresh Prince does with their shows. This would just cut off. And I'm like, hey, is that
Is the episode done already? I feel like there was more to be told. So they would do annoying stuff like that. So yeah, beyond that though, Big Bang Theory was cool, and it's very interesting if you look into what the original pilot was before they had to redo the pilot. Penny was not in that show first. It was another character who apparently was test screeners would say, "Get that lady away from these nice boys." Apparently, which was those nice boys being Sheldon and Leonard. Your other question about young Sheldon, I've seen some of that. It's funny. It is funny. It's very different, but it is funny, and I did very much enjoy that too. But I haven't seen it all the way through. S. Arvello says, "Hi Eric, you're the best. I wanted to ask, how excited are you for the new Batman movie?" I am so excited. That's my number one most anticipated movie. Matt Reeves is my favorite director. He made my second favorite movie of all time, which is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And yeah, I am so chuffed to see that movie. I am so looking forward to it. Honestly, you guys might not like me saying this, but I'll just say it. To me, Spider-Man No Way Home for months was just an obstacle I had to get past to get closer to seeing the Batman. That's kind of how I saw No Way Home. And then I actually enjoyed like the last hour of it a lot. So I really had a lot of fun with that. So great, good movie still, but you know, if you're into the MCU thing, then great. But if we're getting tired of that a lot, a long time ago, like I was, then naturally it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you don't just want to see that kind of thing. You want to see something that pushes it. And Marvel never really pushed the genre. They just keep doing more crossovers, and now they're doing crossovers with nostalgia. So it's kind of a cheap trick. But with Warner Brothers and Fox, before Disney bought them out, they were trying new things. They did an R-rated western with Logan. They did Deadpool. They did New Mutants, which was trying to do a PG-13 horror movie in a comic book film. They were doing the different stuff. DC are also doing different things. The fact they did the Dark Knight trilogy in the first place, very different. They did Watchmen, very different. They did Joker, very different. Shazam, you'd think it'd be a typical comedy. It ended up having really hard PG-13, borderline rated R scenes in there, which were too scary for any kid. Something Marvel would never do, but then they said they were going to do after Shazam came out. They said Doctor Strange 2 is going to be a horror shortly after Shazam came out. They only did that after they saw the horror in Shazam. They were like, oh, you can put horror in a comedy and it works. So yeah, and now they're doing the Batman. So Warner Brothers, they do a lot when they do a lot of bad stuff, but when it comes to doing new things, they are one of the ones that do it, and Marvel just don't do the new thing. They just comfortably stay in their same lane. 64L, you are right. Shazam is full of heart. Jacinda Ellison. Oh, you comment a lot on my videos. I'm always happy to see your comments as well. Oh man, the New Mutants was boring. No offense to anyone who likes it. New Mutants to me felt like two movies. The director had directed another romantic movie, I think. I can't remember what it was called. It was about one character that was dying or something. My sister had seen the movie. And it felt very much like the New Mutants was two things. It was a horror movie, a comic book horror movie, and it was also a love story, and the two felt like they were from completely different movies. They did not go together at all. So yeah, I do, but like I said, I appreciate the attempt. If something tries something different and fails, I much more appreciate that to something that didn't try and failed. So, did I watch Invincible? Says Praveen Dubaka. Yes, I have, and it was a really great show. In a bizarre way, I feel like you could just watch the first episode and the last episode, but everything in between is a great build-up for the final episode, and that final episode was just so painful. Like, my jaw was dropped. I watched it on my projector, and there was a scene with a train, is all I'll say, and watching it on the projector, I felt like it was like all that blood had splattered on my face. It was just so immersive and disturbing to watch, and it was animated too. And the main character is voiced by J. Jonah Jameson, and he did a phenomenal job. Who is your favorite DC character that is in the comics that didn't show up in the big screen? I was thinking of one recently, actually, that never made it to the big screen. I'd say some of Batman's villains, like Clayface, Killer Croc. Well, Killer Croc showed up, but I mean like the big Killer Croc, not that small one. There's what was the puppet? Scarface. I think that was his name. Yeah, I was always curious to see a version of him in live action.
And Dr. Hugo Strange, I want to see more of him. Arkham City, they reinvented Hugo Strange from what he was in the Batman the Animated Series, which was just this very like high pitched doctor. Like like these very he was good, but he wasn't great. But Arkham City turned him into a scary maniacal maniac in a way, like an experimental doctor. So what are your thoughts? 64 Elsa. So what are your thoughts on the first Captain movie? Are you saying the first Captain America? I did review the first Captain America very briefly at the end of my Avengers Endgame versus Infinity War video. I liked it. I didn't like it when it came out. It was so boring, and I was thinking, what was the point of seeing characters like Bucky and Peggy and all these other characters? Because Captain America's going to just go to the future. And when he goes to the future, they're not going to be there anymore. Little did I know that the Russos had all this planned up for him. So when I went back and watched it, it meant a lot more, all those character relationships. The Russos had provided so much value to it. And like I always say, you know, if you make a good sequel, it makes the previous movie. A good sequel makes the previous movie better. A bad sequel makes the previous movie worse. And the Russos made great sequels because they made the previous movie so much better. Tigerzilla Gamer says, I had a message in my last super chat. Did you? Let me see. Because I made sure to answer the super chats. Ask me again, and I'll don't donate again if the message didn't go through, but I'll try to answer it and say this is what I asked in capitals, and I'll spot it and I'll answer it. I want to say $34.13 so far. I did not expect to get that number at all. Honestly, when I did this live stream, I didn't expect to get any pay. This was literally just for me to speak to you guys. I didn't know how long I was going to do it, but boy, have I done it a lot longer than I thought I was going to. This is like the length of an hour and 20-minute movie. How long I've been doing. No, actually, sorry, I got that wrong. It's 60, 70. It's hour and 11 minutes. Not quite hour and 20-minute movie. It's getting there, though. Leon Mouse Comic says, what movie inspired you to do YouTube? It wasn't really what single movie. It was just all movies. I always liked movies, and I liked analysing them, talking about very specific scenes, and through YouTube I can do it, and a lot of you guys seem to connect to the scenes that I connected to, and I really did want to continue that dialogue, and now it's turned into this, so I just had a passion about movies in general. Cosmic Stardust, are you going to bring back 3-minute reviews? Okay, now that's a bit of a sore point for me, because I loved 3-minute reviews. That's where I was the most experimental with my editing and with shooting, like as if I was making a movie. I wanted to shoot stuff in. I really do miss that, but unfortunately 3-minute reviews was not taking off, so honestly, the failure of failure and well, I won't say failure, but the cancellation, because the people that watched it enjoyed it. The cancellation, I should say, the cancellation of 3-minute reviews led me to find other shows to make, and that's how my Versus videos got made, is how my Let's Binge Watch videos got made, how my quick movie reviews got made. So, I would like to get back to 3-minute reviews at some point, but I think my channel needs to grow more before I go back to committing to that, because that did take a lot of hours and work to do, and my computer can't handle that level of, video game recording now like it could, so I need another computer again too. Radford Farius says, I'm something of a YouTube commenter myself. Nice one, buddy. That was good. Eric, would you like Harry Potter if they use guns instead of wands? Well, they could get rid of Voldemort much quicker, I think. How quick they have time to deflect a spell, but how much time do they have to deflect a bullet? It will just go right through their hands, so yeah, maybe guns, but that takes away from the fantasy element, doesn't it? Sorry guys, I haven't seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm getting multiple questions for that. Have I seen any of the Marvel animated movies, and if so, which one is your favourite and least favourite, says Zilla Universe. I watched one animated movie. It was an Iron Man one a long time ago, and it was so boring I had to turn it off. It looked like anime, it did. And I watched a show on Netflix called Wolverine. It was supposed to be him in Japan, and it started out cool, but then it just got so boring, and it
went from being this bloody show to then just being so tame and there was no blood and it just took forever to get going. So I just skipped it. I just got another donation. You guys are too nice to me. Like I said, I really do appreciate every single one of you, and I will. Doesn't let me read who did it. When I find you as I scroll through the list eventually, I'll answer your question. Mango Microwave, would you ever make a short film? I'd like to at some point. I mean, my 3-minute reviews in ways had elements of being a short film, and I was going to do one regarding the review of the 2016 Ghostbusters game. I was going to try to make that seem like a horror, like the game was like haunting me, and that the game was alive, and it rushed towards me when I spoke bad of it. But yeah, that did end up happening, and I think I was going to get copyright claim. That was unfortunately another reason why I didn't end up doing it. I was going to use the Insidious music in that video. Oh, I'm sorry, Zilla Universe. To answer the other part of your question, what's my favourite and least favourite? As for favourite, I can't think of one. I don't think I've watched any of the animated Marvel movies. If I have, they haven't left a very good, lasting impression on me. I watched some Marvel shows, like Spectacular Spider-Man. I used to watch. I'm trying to get through. At some point, I want to try to watch